Well, we're coming out to Foxdale to Beckwith Mines Chimney, of course, which was standing just recently, but over the weekend has probably halved in its height. Pete, this is your specialist subject. You and the mining team are always interested in this sort of thing. So take us through what's happened here.
Well, we've been monitoring this chimney for quite some time now, really about 2005 when we capped the mine shaft behind us. The chimney's been leaning for decades. We've had some concerns about it. It's 150 years old, of course, and we'd stood the test of time. We knew it was probably going to go this year. I think within the last 3 years we have seen an exponential development within its lean. We could almost pretty much be confident that it was going to be sometime this first half of the year. And unfortunately, this last weekend, it has collapsed.
Well, I was here, I think the picture we're looking at now, the quick bit video I took last year, and then I was actually around here a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed the lean had really increased in just the last few weeks alone.
About, I think it was about 3 years ago, we'd started to notice an obvious crack had appeared exactly halfway up the chimney, and that was our predicted point of which it would shear and eventually go off, and it has. It's broken off at a height of 35 feet, and the top 35 feet of this 70-foot structure has now come down.
So what's the story behind that? Why has it been leaning?
We're not really sure, really. I mean, the chimney has been a bit built of probably not quite true Cornish tradition, but probably by Cornishmen. Many of them work here. The chimney itself has been made out of just local stone, and it's been bonded together with lime mortar. Now, generally, lime mortar it's fairly strong. I mean, that's evident because the chimney has lasted so long. But unfortunately, due to the weathering here, extremely strong southwest prevailing winds coming in and the weathering, the lime mortar has in time decayed and crumbled. And the wind has been the element that has caused the chimney to become quite banana-shaped.
Of course, this weekend was just that sort of gusty wind, I suppose. It just was enough to push it over the edge.
There has just been one final push from that bit of wind, and I think it's fortunate it's probably come down on the evening of Friday, Saturday morning, and been very lucky that there's been nobody up here. Well, the build isn't bad at all. You can see the inside of the structure, really. The stonework hasn't mattered. This is only a flue duct. And given the thickness of it, you can see the amount of lime mortar that's been embedded between the stone as well. And considering that this piece here has survived the impact and held itself together, that really illustrates just the strength you can get out of lime mortar. But by the same token, you see how easily I can crumble this. Now, this has been exposed to the prevailing winds, so of course I think the driving rain, the frosts and everything has just taken its time, and it's pushed the top over. There's nothing else to it.
As far as, I mean, we're all in hard hat and gear and this sort of thing. Is there a safety issue now involved?
There's not a big safety issue now. It is pretty much a public ramblage area. You get many sort of people coming up here for walks, but I think given the height of this, I'm fairly confident that this structure is relatively stable, although I think we really need to consider doing something with the top of the chimney, either bringing a little bit more down or building a bit up and consolidating it and maybe putting a new collar back on it.
See, Pete, I know how much you like to reconstruct things, like you know, doing that water wheels and the mine shafts and Laxey. You don't feel the urge to recreate this again?
Well, I think that would really be down to the governing body, you know, responsible, and of course I think financial implications would have something to do with it. But we as a voluntary outfit, we're quite happy to do something with this chimney.
So the Leaning Tower of Foxdale is no more?
I'm afraid so.